Hey everyone, Action here! In this video I'll be showing you how impactful ascending your planets can be in your economy. By just upgrading the correct colonies, you can greatly improve your overall empire efficiency by reducing the need for certain supply jobs, to say it that way. Also, there are some decisions you can make in order to greatly reduce your colony ascension cost and thus enabling you to ascend tons of planets without a massive unity output. However, not everything is flowers. Taking notice of our recent activities, the fallen empires decided to humiliate us all at the same time. The question is whether we will be capable of scaring them off, or will they join to destroy us once and for all. High Command calls out for 5,000 commanders to replenish our ranks after the recent losses. Our navy needs you, Commander, to help us fight the countless enemies that threatens our own existence. Enlist today and be a part of something greater. So our goal is to reach 100k tech in this playthrough. I don't know if that's even possible. We are currently at 30,000 already, and keep in mind something very important. We have regular tech costs, so if you look at this, we have 175,000 base costs for our technologies, which is really important because if we were to change it, it would be a lot easier to achieve that goal. Now, one thing that happened in the previous video is that the Fallen Empires humiliated us, and as such we have minus 50% research speed that will expire within 4 years. However, if we don't do anything about that, the Fallen Empires are gonna try to humiliate us once again. So for that I am preparing one of our fleets here on the Newpran system. We already have around 350k. However, we need to improve our alloy production so we can field around 500,000 to take care of them. So in all of our worlds we are transforming them into an Ecumonopolis. We currently have already 4 Ecumonopolis, and the plan here is to have basically everything Ecumonopolis. Our job efficiency is through the roof. Basically every single one of our researchers are almost worth 3 times their regular output just from the job efficiency, not even accounting for the bonuses. So I think it is pretty safe to start doing the repeatables technologies. It's only gonna take us 9 months to finish the kinetic one. One thing that we can do actually is just set our species type to social warfare. This is gonna improve their happiness and also the unity output from our factions, since basically the unity from factions is calculated based off their political power, and by changing the species living standards, our political power will improve. I was trying to get the synaptic blade to work, however it is way too buggy at the moment, and it is just eating up all of our pops without even producing anything and costing a lot of energy. So I don't know if the devs are gonna fix it. Hopefully they will, because at the current stage it is not near enough what it used to be. No, one of our leaders reached the level 8, but we didn't got the Genius Armorer Destiny trait, unfortunately. Yeah, that's kinda bad, to be honest. I think we'll go with this trait because later on we wanna have a lot of naval cap to deal with the high level crisis. So this will actually improve our naval cap from soldiers by quite a lot. Oh boy, during an astral rift, a swarm of grave guardians has been unleashed upon us. Ooh, where they are? 26,000. Kinda strong, not gonna lie to you. However, we can just grab one of our fleets, perhaps this cruiser fleet. Let's actually have a Tyrian, my fellow brother, and just send them in to deal with this swarm. What? Our scientist died. He was a pretty high level. No. And he didn't have the backup clone trait? For real? Nah, that's so bad, man. But our orbital ring alone is taking care of their fleet. What is this? Yeah, it would completely destroyed. What a strong orbital ring. Now this mega structure here, my friends, the Mega Art installation, I know most of you think it is garbage. However, not only it produces us 700 unity per month, which is basically 10% of what we are producing, it also increases our amenities and decreases the colony ascension cost, which is fantastic, because in combination with the other bonuses we already have, the base cost is actually reduced by 40%, so a massive reduction there, and And if you look at our stored unity, you'll see that we can ascend a lot of planets with this. So here on our capital, we are already at tier 10. Kartox is at tier 8, so just go ahead and ascend one tier more. And now let's go for Chunsoons, since we have 14k pops here, a very populous planet. And Chunsoons is actually consuming us almost 1000 consumer goods. Let's see this consumption after we ascend a little bit. Okay, with all that stored unity, we managed to fully ascend it to tier 10, and now it is only costing us 200 consumer goods. So we basically improved our empire production a lot, requiring even less consumer good jobs to maintain our economy. This also greatly reduced our empire size, which in turn improved our technological research speed. Oh well, we are gonna lose this resolution, security contractors, reducing our naval cap by minus 10%. However, the good part is we are gonna be able to form a mercenary enclave, so we just need to build up a fleet. So I'm thinking about leaving the mercenary enclave here on Felix. It is a pretty remote system, so if anything bad happens, we'll have enough time to react. So this is our plan. With all of our worlds being ascended now, the consumer good consumption of our researchers is gonna greatly reduce, making room for us to change the civilian industry for something like a heavy industry. This will shift a lot of the jobs to metallurgists, which is gonna improve our alloy production, which we definitely need at this point. Because here on Corellius, our forge world that we are currently making their college project, it's gonna take a very long time for it to finish, and it's definitely gonna take longer than 197 days, which is the time that the Fallen Empire is gonna declare war on us. Since we have a surplus of energy at this point and we are currently finishing up our Dyson sphere as well, we might as well just start building up some automation buildings. Here on our Commonopolis foundry, it is quite insane the amount of rare resources we are making. 600 of each. I really don't think we actually need the chemical plants anymore. They're just improving our mineral consumption way too much. Yeah, even without them, we are producing 200, which is definitely more than we need for our economy. Dyson Sphere now completed, producing 4000 energy credits for us, so we should start building up our next megastructure, which will actually be the Interstellar assembly for two reasons. The first one is that at the final stage it reduces our empire size globally by minus 10%, so it is very good. And the other reason is we currently have a very low amount of diplomatic weight because we don't have the Minister of State, we are stuck with the isolationist, so yeah, we don't have a lot of bonuses there. This really limits our options of becoming the Galactic Custodian, which is crucial if you want to deal with high-level crisis because of the varying bonuses it gets. And also we need to prevent the AI from passing dumb resolutions, such as the collective waste management that is going to reduce our overall job efficiency due to the lower habitability. As expected, the Bilbao-Cousin wants to bully us. However, right now we have a pretty good fleet just stationed here, 600,000, so we should be able to deal with them. Now that we have completed enough Astral Rifts, we can activate the powerful Astral edicts. Now in the previous patch it was really hard to activate them, since we didn't have a very good amount of Astral Threads production. However, now we just need to build one of that building in any of our planets and we'll have a massive production. So we can pretty much activate all of them at no cost, we just have to wait a little bit. Fantastic, and at the same time the Silicon Council died. I don't even know who they are, or were in that case. And our Commonopolis foundry is finished. We can also build the automation building, so we can have these jobs filled up pretty quickly. Now one thing I will start doing now is building up a massive army of space marines. We currently have only 7 of them, however we can make so many more due to our quantities of minerals. Here we are gonna produce 30 armies of gene warriors on our main sector. On the other sector of the Alcord, let's build 30 more as well. Now, since our Astral threads per month has reduced by a lot, what we can do is just upgrade this building. It will provide us a little bit more physics research from Astral researchers, which is also nice, and it will basically double the production of Astral threads. And finally, the Dirian Society established contact with us. Hideous creatures, your visage sicken us. Now we can invade their system. Let's see what the options are. Well, they actually just stood there. Perhaps it's because they don't have FTL capabilities yet. I don't know, that's just my guess. But our destroyer fleet has finally reached its goal on Felix, so we can just hire a commander, let's grab this guy, and create a mercenary enclave. Let's also found it and help them field a bigger fleet, as always, and share our tech with them. They can also offer some logistical solutions, increasing our naval cap by plus 15%, which is nice, and they can also get us more damage against the awakened marauders. So if you hire a mercenary enclave, ideally you wanna rent everything from them. So we basically bought all of their ground troops as well, and as soon as possible we will rent their fleet. Oh man, I think that this Astral Rift is the one that gives us the Continuum, if I remember correctly, which is basically the most OP relic in the game. It gives us basically every resource, tons and tons of alloys, minerals, energy. It's kinda ridiculous to be honest, but I am not sure if it is this one. I know that is something around gears, I guess, like this, but I'm not sure. And we have reached our stockpile of trade, so let's set up a more aggressive buy for dark matter, since we wanna have more of this to produce our fleet. Our fleet actually has a lot of dark matter components, so that's why. So look, our build is so OP that here on lowland it is only a size 13 world. However, we could field 15 city districts, 5 generator districts, so 20 so far, more 1 and 1, so 22 districts in a world that is only size 13. So yeah, fellas, we've almost doubled the size of our planet. And that is, of course, if you haven't watched our latest videos, we grabbed expansion for one more district, adaptability, mastery of nature. We also had the Astral Rift that granted us the Astral Seeds, which are these ones right here, fractal seeds, that improve our districts by 1, and also the orbital rings. So what I like to do is, whenever one of our worlds is fully completed, meaning we can't do anything more to improve it, just like we are here, I like to set the name up to C, so it indicates that it is completed and I don't have to access this planet every time, only if I somehow need some pops and we can replace the civilians that are currently unemployed here. One thing that I did forget about doing in this playthrough was establishing contact with the curators and also the Artisan enclave, so perhaps it is my major mistake in this playthrough, but that can be remedied very easily by just trading contacts with other AI empires. Alright, we established contact with instead a fallen empire that wants to bully us. Okay, but we will not, and we will not from you as well. Oh boy. Yeah, everybody hates us. Oh my god, that was definitely not my intention. Did we find the curators? No, we did not. How wonderful. At least we completed our artifact collection on our Grand Archive, so if we happen to find the curators at some point, we can buy 3 relics from them, and let us hope that those relics are powerful. Hello Commander, if you're enjoying my content, please consider being a part of our higher ranks and financially supporting the growth of our navy. Depending on your contribution, you'll have access to different sections of our military, being able to command an entire fleet and up to a whole sector in our live streams. That will happen almost every weekend. With every contribution, the Empire grows stronger and you, Commander, will help us shape the future of our universe. Well, one thing that can make sure that we'll find the creators is just build a Sentry array. Why not, right? So as it is our tradition, let's build our Sentry array in a system inside the nebula, so nobody will know that we are spying on them. Oh, the Imperial Autocracy wants to offer association status with us. If I remember correctly, we can't create federations? Yeah, but we cannot even join federations. So this association status is actually worthless. We have become the Galactic Counselors, thankfully. So let's actually... we don't even need to propose as an emergency measure because it is gonna be the next resolution. So we wanna go this route. It has been taking so long time for us to go through this because we didn't have any kind of diplomatic weight. Now, due to our constructions and also the increase of our naval power, we actually can have control over the galactic community and pass the resolutions up until this one that will reduce the empire size from POPs by minus 10%. However, we are going kind of insane with the planetary ascension. Almost all of our worlds are already at tier 10. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 worlds remaining out of the 11 worlds we have. Oh yeah, the mechanism lets jam the gears and grab that continuum for us. So one thing that we must start doing is improving our naval cap through our starbases, because the crisis will appear at 2350, which is the endgame date, and it is the 25 times crisis as we usually do in our playthroughs. So we definitely want to be a little bit stronger than what we currently are, especially regarding the damage. We have some repeatables in the defensive capabilities, which means that our fleet power is actually a little bit lower when it comes to the crisis, because defensive power is basically useless against them. One thing that will massively boost our fleet power is reaching the level 4 in the crisis, because this will unlock more ship components, such as the artificial dragon scales, which are completely busted, is the best armor in the game, and armor, well my friends, it is very important. Although defensive capabilities are not that strong against the crisis, for the battle cruisers, which are the Fallen Empire ships, we have a lot of slots, meaning they can tank up some bit of damage from the crisis, at least perhaps 1 or 2 shots, depending on the amount of armor we have. Alright, crisis level 4, fantastic man. Now we should have more options for our buildings, and also the applied infinity thesis, which will grant us even more advanced logic every time we research them, because currently with the synaptic laid kind of bugged, we have no real way of acquiring advanced logic. We only acquire them through technologies, basically 16,000 just from tax and a little bit from other things. However, it is quite difficult to achieve the final level. It is 45,000 advanced logic, but thankfully with this technology we can advance rather quickly. So far we are producing 46,000 research every single month. We have expanded our alloy production to almost 5,000 in a surplus. Our only deficit now is in the energy department. However, we will be fixing it very quickly with our class 3 singularities and later on our class 4 singularities. This will help us field a very large fleet. We currently already have 1.5 million sitting in the new Prince system and ready to engage the Fallen Empires. That's what we're gonna be doing in the next video, but this is gonna be it for today's one. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to leave a like button, because it helps me out a little bit. And as always everyone, I will see you guys next time.